Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to Get More Clients. I'm your host, Lynn Whitbeck. Business owners and entrepreneurs hire me to ignite winning sales because most are chasing down leads, lack client retention, conversion, and profit. The mission of this show is to educate, inspire, and motivate women and men around the world to build a robust sales strategy to get more clients because many can't get more clients and haven't a clue why. You'll learn to transform thinking to the client's perspective, eliminate the lengthy, chaotic sales cycle to ignite your sales and unleash lasting profits. You'll also have the opportunity to connect with me further to see how I can support you beyond today. Now, last week, I had my fabulous guest, RJ, here with me, and we shared why finding your unique elixir delivers a powerful business edge. Today, RJ is back. RJ Redden, and we are going to be talking about how to easily message in your unique voice to attract clients. Now, RJ has been coaching people about technology since 1998, and that's even before we were worried about the year 2000 destroying all computers everywhere. And RJ is such a fascinating individual. She once spent 5 months in a country where she didn't know the language, just so she could learn how to explain things more effectively to people. RJ loves technology like it's her best friend, and she has the most outstanding clients on the earth. Well, RJ, thank you so much. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Get More Clients.
Thank you. I am so happy to be here with you. This is truly the show where we solve the problems.
It is absolutely, because it's far too easy to spend hours looking at a blank screen or a blank pad of paper, however you brainstorm, racking your brain for inspiration to connect with your ideal clients. However, there is an easier and better way. And today, RJ and I are going to dive into creating value-driven content that's authentically you with ease. And by the end of today's show, you're going to know how to identify your unique style and authentic voice, what matters to your ideal clients, and how to build messaging that focuses on their perspective, where to find tools that save you time while crafting value-driven content with your unique flair. And you must speak to your client's perspective while standing out from the crowd. Sounding like everybody else, looking like everybody else is boring. Woohoo, and deadly for sales. Embrace your superpowers as you communicate how to deliver lasting impact for your clients, and it's a win-win for your business. Now, RJ, you obviously are so into being authentic yourself. How would someone who's joining us today, would they identify their unique style and authentic voice?
Well, part of it is really, here's the thing. So I'm going back a little bit. I'm going large. So I've always been told if you want to speak to your ideal client, you must speak to them in their language. Have you been told this too? Right. So I would then go, okay, how are they speaking? What words are they using? What am I missing here? And I would go and I would comb through book reviews, and I'd comb through comments on YouTube videos, and I'd comb through all those things. And I'd be like, well, they're not really using different words than I am. What's the problem here? The problem is not the exact words. I took the phrase too literally. You need to speak in their language. Well, we're all speaking English here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, most of us are speaking English. What does that really mean? To me, it means speaking the language of my values, and just speaking the language of my own vulnerabilities sometimes, and different. I didn't know those bubbles were appearing, but whatever. Speaking the language of. I hate saying this, the language of the heart. I hate saying that because it's an overused phrase. I don't love overused phrases, but there you go. It's really about communicating those values. And it really is communicating why you're doing what you're doing. It's
Absolutely.
most people, most can't do that. Either they haven't, most of the time they just haven't put it into words yet. But I urge you, if you're new here, put it into words. Why do you do what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to say that last week we actually talked about this a lot when we were talking about your unique elixir. So go back and listen to that episode. But one of the things that when you're people need to feel comfortable in their own skin because you are unique. And that's what's going to attract people to you. You don't want to be like everybody else, like a clone of whomever. Because then you're just a washed out version. And it's like, why wouldn't they just, talk to Marie Forleo instead of you if you're trying to copy her, let's say, whatever it is that you're doing. So when you're thinking about your unique style, what is that core essence of you? And, bring it out because that's what's going to attract people. People have such high BS meters today. I mean, come on, RJ, wouldn't you agree? I mean, it's just like, and there you are. If you don't, aren't comfortable in your own skin, then you've got to start there so that you can get comfortable and then really show up as who you are. I'm a naturally cheerful, bubbly person. I've actually had some people tell me that I smile too much and I'm too cheerful. And I thought about it. I mean, I took it as, appropriate constructive criticism. It was coming from their heart with good intentions. But then when I stepped back and I really considered it, I went, well, that's a core essence of who I am. I am a naturally cheerful, effervescent, bubbly person. That's just how I show up. And that's okay. And it's okay if somebody doesn't like that. I don't need to please everybody. Get over that. Please get over
Yeah.
that.
Get over the need to have a mass industrialized personality, sanitized personality, and have a totally different reality when they sit down with you for the first time. Because what do? They go, boop, I don't trust you.
Yeah.
You were a different person out there, and now you're a different person in here. And that they won't even maybe like consciously think that, but it turns people off right away. To me, what you see is what you get. I make sure that people on the way in to coming to sit with me experience enough of my personality that they can already make that choice. And some of them choose to not sit down with me. And I say, that is wonderful. Isn't that awesome? We all just got a half an hour back.
We,
You know what I mean? So yeah, there are many people that do not like my personality. I am completely okay with this. I don't need a crowd of thousands, my friend. I
yeah.
don't.
No, absolutely not. And to your point, it's when you don't show up as your authentic self, but they've been seeing you in other places where you are, they literally go to war in their own mind, like the difference. Like, okay, wait, what just happened? I feel like Lucy Van Pelt, or actually Charlie Brown, who had Lucy pulled a football out from underneath them. And you
Okay.
don't want that to occur. So, you know, let's move forward because I think we sort of we need to get to that next point. So RJ, when you start with what matters to your ideal clients,
Mhm.
you know, how do you build messaging that focuses on their perspective?
Yeah, and it's all about standing in their shoes. It's all about that. Most coaches, many coaches, they are coaching to the person they were before their last big transformation. They've hooked up upon a secret in their lives or a way to transform their thinking, and they're like, I'm going to spread this to the world, and they become a coach, and here we go. It is all about knowing what it is that matters to them. And if you haven't been that person in a while, it's okay to do some research. And what I mean by research is not let's go. I mean, scanning book reviews and scanning YouTube videos is good stuff to do. But
Yeah.
I'm talking about some direct research with people who have the problem that you're seeking to
Yeah.
communicate with. Some of it even may be people that have rejected your service, or people that have gone with something else. You can go back and ask, hey, just so doing some research to build my business, you would do me a huge favor to me if you answered a couple of questions about why you went this way instead of this way. Are you willing to get on with me for 15 minutes?
Yeah,
It's the most powerful 15 minutes ever, because I guarantee you it's something you haven't thought of. Too many of
absolutely.
us. Yeah.
Yeah. And that voice of the client, and in this case, whether they were, a prospect who didn't move forward with the sale, an existing client, somebody you've worked with in the past, somebody who would be your ideal client, that voice of the client and having questions that aren't about you, but about their experience, about their situation, about their um, problems, the solutions that they're seeking, their pain points, what's keeping them up late at night, and what that vision of that world would look like, their world would look like if that was solved, if that pain went away, if they could move forward. And the voice of the client is the most important thing of talking to who are your ideal clients and what is their perspective. If you don't understand what matters to them, what's in it for them, and so they can what, you're completely missing the ability to attract and connect with them, because you don't understand where they're coming from. You don't have that. That's what we're talking about with this, building this messaging, because your client's perspective, your prospect's perspective is truth. It's as
Yes.
simple as that. It's not your truth, it's their truth. And then how do you reverse engineer what you do so that you're actually serving your clients and creating that impact?
Yes.
Sometimes when you go through this whole exercise, you may realize that you're not speaking to the right audience because of what you do. What's your magic? What's your superpowers? What's that secret elixir that you have? And you need to pivot so that you're speaking to those people who are your ideal clients, that you can truly help and serve, and create that impact.
Absolutely. And if that is, if talking directly to the people is not, something you feel a little funny about, you can always do a survey or something like that. I just always find that, when I meet directly with people and just ask. You can't know them enough. You can't. Most of us, when we think about putting ourselves out there, we think about how we're going to put ourselves out there. Absolutely lovely, but might be a cart before the horse situation. Because if you put yourselves in their shoes first and you really resonate with, that is the exact same problem I have or I had, now you've got the secret to communicating with them. Because if people know you aren't going to, if you're asking for a 15-minute meeting and you promise no pitches, and I mean, most people will try to help you out because we all have struggling businesses. I mean, I hang out on LinkedIn. We all have businesses on LinkedIn. And so asking somebody from there to help me is easy stuff. So remember, if you talk to them and talk to them regularly, know this: knowing your client is not, oh, good, we can check that off, we are now done. No, 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 no. It's a constant piece of consistent love that you need to give your crowd. It is absolutely constant because we're all changing so quickly.
Yeah. No, I love what you just said about asking, because if you don't ask, you don't get. So from a practical perspective, I want to say that when you're looking at building that, what matters to your client, go through that exercise. What do they want, need, or lack? Why does it matter to them? What keeps them up late at night? What are they worried about? What's a pain point? What's a monetizable pain point? What solution are they seeking? Then, once again, now, why does this matter to them? What's in it for them? If they fix this, if they solve this, if they achieve this, so they can what? So they can what? And now when you work through that exercise, now you understand that. Now you can start to build that perspective and that messaging. And so that's what we're talking about, how to build the messaging. Well, now you know what's keeping them up at night. You know that experience. You know what it is that they're looking for. The so they can what? All right. And so now you can start to build that messaging, and you're going to create that so they can do this, so they can achieve this, so they can fulfill this. What's that dream? What's the dream? And in some cases, it's really quite practical, that a solution for a product or service that they're trying to solve. Now, and then what are those pain points? Now, from that, now you can start to build out that messaging. Now, I know that RJ, you have some really great tools that also help people to do this in a way that really short, it's a much more effective, I should say. It's like a shortcut. And yet what's really unique about it is that it's about their clients, in the sense of everyone who's tuning in, your ideal clients. And it really speaks to who you are. Once again, it's got to come from who you are. What's your special sauce, that elixir? And then bringing that together. And I'd love to have you talk about this a little bit, because it's so important for people to find the tools that are going to save them time while crafting value-driven content that's unique to them, that has a flair, right? That speaks to their ideal clients. And you do this so well. So I'd love for you to take the floor and talk about this.
Yeah, well, I would love to. This was a process years in the making. A couple 3 years ago, they started to come out with those content writers, those AI content writers. Oh, press a button and you'll get an article. Oh, I mean, and I bought way too many of them. I'm a little AppSumo victim right here. Anyway, I bought way too many of them, and I didn't end up using any of them because none of them can get my voice. Like, it just doesn't. It just wasn't me. I mean, I just couldn't. There was a discordance. There was a
Yeah.
train crash between who I wanted to be and who this text was making me out to be. And so eventually I did stop buying those. But I did start thinking when GPT came out last year, I did start thinking, well, but I could make one. And in the first few months of discovering what AI was all about, and I mean, I had worked with AI, but it was a baby version of GPT, and it was not the same thing. So, I joined groups and I did stuff, and I got this worksheet once, this webinar that promised to help you teach AI to how to write in your own voice. I'm like, oh, I wonder if they have some of the same ideas. So I'll go to this workshop, and I hit upon the worksheet that they gave away at the end. And then what it said was, it had, what's your writing style? And then a big old blank on this sheet of paper. Honey, I don't know. I'm not an English teacher. I have no idea how to, encapsulate all of this. And it was very frustrating because that was the promise. And you know what? Of course I know. Of course I know that these writers need to know a little bit about you and your writing style and your audience. But then my brain began to click, and I started building what the name of the product is, First Draft Ninja. And what it does is it takes in facts about your ideal clients, and it kind of helps ask you some questions that bring up certain psychographics about how they feel and how they decide things and all the stuff that we've been talking about. Then you feed it 3 to 5 pieces of content, and now the computer knows your audience, and now the people you are trying to write to. And
Right.
now it also knows what's the writing style. without you having to spit out what your writing style is, because nobody knows that unless they are an English teacher, which props to you folks. Love you. Keep fighting the good fight. It just is able to analyze your writing style and approximate, the certain things that are hit pretty frequently. So then it just asks you, what do you want to write today? And you get a choice of different things that you could write. Some of it's conventional, some of it just is not. You can write haikus if you want to on my stuff. And what it does for you is then once you've got, here's the things that I want to talk about today, here's the format I want it in, and here are the key points I want to make, then you press a button and the thing spins, does magic, and comes back with an 80% done article. Whatever you needed it to be. Does it need to be a blog? Does it need to be an email? Does it need to be 3 haikus? I don't know. Whatever you said you needed it to be, boom, it returns those things back to you. They're 80% done. An email also comes to you with a PDF, just in case you get, caught doing something else that day and get dragged away from it. But what happens there is that you get to see that on paper and then go, okay, let's judge some things here, there, oh, I really wanted to make this point differently. And then you can put that right on the internet. So it's like taking the bulk of the work out of it for you. People think of AI as an easy button. It is not, my friends. It is not an easy button. What it is a minion button. All right. I show up with my vision and my key points and all my knowledge and my personality. I say to the computer, this is what I would like you to build, please. I press the minion button, the minions go, they write something for me. And now I've got something to stand on. I've got something to develop rather than something to start from scratch with. And that's the difference.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the things, for full disclosure, I've been using First Draft Ninja for over a month now. And for anybody who is on our Weekly Wisdoms newsletter list, you got my email yesterday, was written using First Draft Ninja. Now, I use pieces and parts of it and created my own. But what's really, I think, the most fascinating was that, if you put the time in to create your ideal client avatar, and you keep saying, yeah, I'm going to add more information, I'm going to add, go deeper, then you've got a really robust piece that's already built in, and it remembers me the next time I go in. It already has my audience. You can create a separate audience if you sell to 2 different distinct audiences. So for some of you, if you're selling into a B2B environment, you may be selling to somebody in risk management and somebody in HR. They have their different avatars, right? They're different ideal clients. The other thing that is cool is that when you're choosing what you want to do, you can keep putting in more information. So once again, it's prompting you to think about the topic, but you're answering questions. And so it's a way to create that's content that's from you, that's your thought process, that you're thinking. And yet you then say, okay, yeah, I've put in enough information. It's like you're brainstorming. And then you're putting all that in, and it's prompting you with the type of content that you want. And there's a lot of choices. There's a plethora of choices. All of a sudden, then, pow, you've got this content that comes out. Now, so some people, they might just take it and copy and paste it right there, but that's not the point. Now you need to say, okay, how am I going to finesse this a little bit? But this whole experience prompted me, and I was able to write this in a much shorter period of time than staring at that blank piece of paper or pad of paper. I'm actually got the really solid foundation and bones that I can just make some adjustments to, mix up where it goes. And I've tried all kinds of things. I haven't tried a haiku yet, but I think what it's the best part is that it's actively moving your brain as to why you're talking about this, why it's important. And at the same time, it's already knows who that audience is and your style of writing. right? Because you've uploaded a couple of articles or blog posts or whatever it happens to be. I can't remember. I uploaded, I think, one of my ebook as well. I mean, to sort of give a whole, like a pretty robust, and you can keep adding to that. So then when it comes back, it sounds like me, which is like, whoa, okay, yeah. And it's so much easier then to finish out my copy. And I'm not going to say it's instant. It takes me 15 minutes or so, but that whole process that I went through, and that the process, I'm investing the time to brainstorm through the topics. So I'm probably putting 30 minutes in on the front end, answering the questions, doing the prompts, doing extra prompts, so that then when I get that content, it's really robust and it takes me 15 minutes. Well, that 45 minutes I just spent is way better than just staring at a blank sheet of paper for that 45 minutes and getting nothing, nada.
Well, because here's what I do when I'm faced with a blank screen. I'll stare at it for about 5 minutes, but then something else will catch my eye and I'll get it done tomorrow. I'll get it done
Yes.
tomorrow. It's fine. It's definitely the back door into, well, let's not focus on the whole thing. Let's focus on a tiny part of it. Let's ask a question. And I mean, and then the bot starts with those questions. Just answer the questions one at a time and you will get something. And it will be something that you can, that kind of makes you excited. The reason why many of us don't write is because it seems like a content crush. Like, I gotta be on TikTok 6 times a day and I gotta do this other thing. I mean, it's just so much. So most people are like, it's a drop in the bucket and the bucket has a hole in it. Why would I write? I think Tom Ruich. You and I are in that together. He's a Story Power Marketing, an amazing human being who've taught me a lot about writing. And it's the drop in the hole of the bucket, and also it's I have these big ideas, but they're so big in here, and I don't know how to get it out. I mean, to me, your email list is a private social network of people who have said, yes, I want to hang out with you. I want to know what you have to say. And to me, it's when I start to treat it like a tribe instead of a list, that's another huge secret of success.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. RJ, thank you so much for sharing how to easily message in your unique voice to attract clients. I mean, this has been a mind-blowing part 2 of our series together. We've got 2 more parts that will be coming up, and I truly appreciate your sharing your knowledge. And RJ's contact information is in our show notes. I want everyone here to connect with RJ. Give this a try. You are going to be blown away. And thank you everyone who tuned in. My purpose is for you to get more clients. Bottom line, don't make this harder than it has to be. Sales should be a win-win. And, on behalf of Petite to Queen, I've carved out a limited number of time slots to invite you to hop on and ignite your sales call with me to see what's working, not working, and what you would love to have working. I'm going to see how I might further support you and effectively generating more leads, converting more sales, and fulfilling on your promise as a brand and organization. And just like RJ, you can hop on a call with her. And, the fastest way to success is to assure people know that they matter. And the best way to make this happen is to build a consistent sales strategy to acquire, convert, and capitalize on every lead. When you do, you're going to find growing your business is easy and lucrative. Today, RJ and I explored how to easily message in your unique voice to attract clients. Here's the key. It's for you to implement what we talked about and stop wasting your time, energy, and resources. So you have the opportunity to get the support you need. Now, my link is p2q.link/win-win. RJ's are in the show notes. And to learn more about me and our consulting services here, you can visit our website at petitetoqueen.com. And you can connect with me there and to stay current on all of our insightful advice, our breakthrough advantages, and never miss an episode of Get More Clients. You know what? Sign up for our weekly Wisdoms newsletter, and you're going to get all kinds of goodies. Now, next week, actually, it's not next week, but we will. Our next episode with RJ. RJ and I are going to be discussing why leveraging tools, systems, and strategies will win sales. So this is going to be a great part 3 of our discussion. And I want to remind you, don't miss a single episode of Get More Clients by subscribing wherever you get your podcasts. And if you love the show, please share it and give us a 5-star review. We'd very much appreciate it. And we will see you next week on Get More Clients.